Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's explainer. Sometimes a story comes along that absolutely takes over the internet. And that is exactly what happened in May of 2026 with the search for Wembu's best friend. But listen, this isn't just your standard missing person case. No, it's actually a profound, real time look at the sheer, unbreakable power of human connection. And honestly, what happens when a deeply rooted personal bond is suddenly, inexplicably threatened. No calls, no messages, no trace. Just imagine the absolute panic of that reality. Just complete silence. And this is exactly what a young content creator named Wembu faced when his absolute best friend vanished without a single clue. It's this raw, terrifying emotional hook that literally pulled millions of strangers directly into his nightmare. Part 1. A deeply rooted bond. Let's look at how this all started. You see, these two young guys, they weren't just names on a police report, right? Their bond was forged through years of shared life. I mean, they traveled the world together, created content side by side, and just shared those everyday mundane moments, leveling up in games, grabbing food. It was an incredibly deep friendship. And it really reminds us that pure human connection is the beating heart of this entire event. It's the anchor of the whole story. Which brings us to part 2, the sudden silence. What's truly striking here is just how incredibly fast things unraveled. Think about it. In the morning, everything was completely normal. They spoke just like they always did. But by the afternoon, sudden, absolute silence. No returning texts, calls going straight to voicemail. By evening, that creeping dread really sets in for Wembu. And by nightfall, he's at the station filing a police complaint. It's terrifying. A totally normal morning abruptly descending into utter panic. But here's the thing. The institutional response simply wasn't fast enough. Faced with a slow police reaction and a ticking clock, Wembo was exhausted, he was terrified, and he felt he had no other choice. So he took matters into his own hands. Literally with tears in his eyes, he turned on his camera, looked directly into the lens, and just begged the internet for help. He took this incredibly raw, deep personal pain and broadcast it to the entire world. And that leads into part 3, a global digital search. Millions. Within just a few short hours, Wembu's video crossed millions of views. It's mind-blowing. It wasn't just isolated to his local town either. People from completely different countries started sharing it. The sheer scale of this mobilization is just incredible to think about. One man's desperate plea for his best friend instantly became this massive global mission. And this digital wave, it quickly built into concrete physical action. I mean, strangers mobilized by sharing the video globally across social networks, rapidly amplifying the signal. People formed dedicated group chats just to coordinate incoming information. You had regular folks sitting at home, analyzing available CCTV footage on their laptops, hunting for leads. Meanwhile, volunteers actually drove to different areas to search physically on the ground. Think about that. Total strangers dedicating their own time and energy to finding one man's best friend. There's this really powerful contrast at the heart of the search. On one side, you have the digital world, right? Millions of views, map pins lighting up everywhere, algorithmic shares, rapid notification pings, basically the cold, hard mechanics of virality. But then on the other side is the human heart, Wembu's raw pain, people gathering for candlelight vigils, desperate hope and prayers for a safe return. The technology was massive, for sure, but it was merely a vessel. Human empathy was absolutely the driving force here. Now, of course, a search like this is a grueling emotional roller coaster. It was filled with leads that gave immense hope and leads that completely broke hearts. As the days passed, updates kept pouring in. Some seemed incredibly promising, giving everyone this rush of optimism, while others turned into devastating dead ends. But through it all, despite the heartbreak and that constant ticking clock, Wembu never, ever stopped looking. Which brings us to our final section, part 4, the meaning of connection. Beyond the immediate hunt, this whole story sparked some really vital global conversations. It brought up the critical importance of mental health. It reminded millions of people about the immense, immeasurable value of having a true, deep friendship. And importantly, it ignited serious discussions on how society as a whole can mobilize to help missing persons cases move faster. It kind of showed us a blueprint for how we can better support one another when the unthinkable happens. Honestly, if there's one profound takeaway from all of this, it's exactly this. This story reminds us how fragile life is. Everything was completely normal on that morning in May 2026 until, suddenly, It just wasn't. It really highlights the absolute crucial importance of staying connected with our loved ones because, well, we simply never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So here's a question I want to leave you with today as we wrap up this explainer. When was the last time you reached out to your best friend? As you process this incredible global effort to find one missing person, take a moment to reflect on your own personal bonds. True friendship is rare, and this story proves just how incredibly powerful it really is. Thank you for joining me. Now, seriously, go text your best friend.